So we are going to do third story of your book Flamingo, and name of the story is Deep Water by William O. Douglas. In this story we come to know about one fear that writer was having, fear of water. So this story is just an extract, an excerpt from his autobiography that he had written, Men and Mountains. More about the writer. Earlier he was an advocate, then he became longest serving justice in US. He was friend of President Franklin D. Roosevelt. He was his advisor also. And here we come to know the story that is generally in three parts. When he was 4 year old, when he was of 13 years, after 9 years, then again after 9 years when he was 22 years old. And this story is starting when writer goes to California beach with his father. A wave just comes, and for a while he was just swept away in wave for a minute. His father picks him up and father feel normal. But for this boy it was not a normal thing. He was so fearful of water that he decided not to go for any activity in water in the future. So this is the first question also. Generally it comes for 1 mark or sometimes for 3 marks. How did William develop aversion with water? Aversion means dislike. Sometime another word, how did William develop fear of water? Answer is same. That he was 4 year old. He went with his father at the California beach. A wave swept over him just for a minute, but he was picked up by his father. His father felt it was just normal, but he felt very badly and he developed. If in answer there is a word aversion, then you can write aversion. If in the question if there is a word like fear, then you write fear. So this is the first question and the first part of the story. The second part of the story, when he was 13 year old, he goes for learning swimming. He wants to learn swimming and he goes to YMCA pool, Young Men Christian Association. They have facilities all over the world. In Connaught Place, near Connaught Place, you will find YMCA office is there. They have hotel there. They have swimming pool also. One academy also for tennis. So there he went for swimming because he did not consider Yakima river. There was one river also, but he did not consider that river because that was termed as treacherous. Treacherous means deceptive because there were so many reports of people dying by drowning in the water of the river Yakima. So this is also one of the small questions that you get for 1 mark or sometime for 3 marks on the base. You may see how much to write. So when he was 13-year-old, he was quite a bit earlier. Nobody was there, so he decided to take out his clothes. His legs were so thin. He was quite feeling not good. But he just decided, whatever may be the case, he would go for swimming. So here he was sitting at the deep end, having his legs in the swimming pool. On the side of the pool, he was sitting and waiting for the instructor. But suddenly, a fat boy comes and that boy ducks him into the water. He was not prepared and he falls in the water. He tries once, he tries twice, he tries thrice, but he was not able to come up. He wanted to come up, he decided, but he could not come up. It was looking as if this 9 feet water was like 90 feet. And in 3 attempts, when he was not successful, and now he could not see anything in the water, it was just blank. Water was of the color black, and then he decided to die peacefully. But as the life is, if you want to die, you cannot die, and if you want to live, you cannot live. So first he wanted to live, he was not successful, and here also you find he wants to die peacefully, he cannot, because after some time he comes to know that he was taken out by his instructor, and instructor was scolding that fat boy, why did you do this? And he told, I was just joking, I was just doing pranks. But it was the writer who was knowing how bad he felt. But he was not in position to say something. He just went away from the place feeling very badly. So this is the second experience of water by the writer. So this comes for the big question. Sometime 3 marks or 6 mark. So big question also. So this is second part of the story. Then there is third part of the story. So in the first part, after 4 years old, when he found everybody going for swimming, he decides once again to go for swimming in the YMCA because everybody was enjoying swimming, boating, canoeing, but he was unsuccessful now at the age of 22. Exactly, you find a gap of 9 years. 4 plus 9, 13. At 13 he decides he is unsuccessful. Now again at 22 he decides once again after 9 years because he could not restrict himself. So he finds one instructor, tells everything how did he try earlier, and he was unsuccessful. But instructor was an experienced one. He said no problem. You will not die, you will not drown, you will learn how to swim. But that was not so easy. An instructor made an arrangement that a rope was tied at the back of William, and that rope was again going through the pulley, and another hand was taken by instructor. He was holding from another end, and he made sure that even if William wanted to go in the water, he could not go. So first when he was in the water, because of fear, he could not move himself. All his body froze. But step by step, the instructor made him to learn swimming. First he put him into practice of feet, and that he did 5 days a week. Then practicing with hands, then practicing with hands and feet together. Then he taught him how to take breathing when he is underwater. So that was also practice, underwater breathing. And after 3 months he declared, now you are a swimmer. When he was quite a bit hopeful that now he can swim. But still the narrator was having doubt. So he went to another place just to check whether he has become a swimmer. So he goes to Lake Wentworth, and there he goes for swimming, and when he was in the middle of the lake where water was all around, a fear strikes him, but he tells the fear, I don't have any fear of water, I don't have any fear of water. And he keeps on swimming. He does this swimming for 2 miles, and again he goes in the warm lake, and there also he practices swimming. Now he could do long swimming, He was a very good swimmer, so he became a good swimmer afterwards. After practicing at the age of 22. So here you find three questions. First, how did William got aversion? How did he get dislike? How he dislike? How did he get aversion with water? How did he get fear of water? Whatever the question. It's a small question that comes. Sometime for 1 mark, sometime for 3 marks. Same way, how did he was pushed by fat boy? Second question that comes, big question. Then third question also, at the age of 22, how did he learn swimming with the help of instructor? So these are the basically three questions we find in exam. Again we will discuss more about the story, psychology of fear, justifying the title beyond the reading of this story, other important questions also, because video becomes so long. After 10 minutes it is very tedious to upload. It takes too long. So that's all for today. Have a nice day.